So watch as I change this boring 3 lots that is in Willow Creek to a 3 lot, fully functional 8 townhouse complex. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Illy and I create realistic Sims 4 builds here on YouTube, as well play other games like Minecraft, Roblox, and a bunch of other different things. If that's something that you guys are interested in, then make sure you guys consider hitting the subscribe button. It helps the channel out and you guys will be notified whenever there is another video. So in today's video of building my world, I am building on 3 lots, but I'm building an 8 building townhouse, like apartment complex. This was actually inspired by my last apartment complex, which was actually townhouses. So I did use the tool mod a lot to put the fencing. I wanted to kind of make it somewhat like it was gated. So there is a fence that goes all the way around the actual property. And then there is these wooden fences that you guys are seeing me use now that is going to be the backyard. So every one of these buildings do have a backyard minus the C block, and that is yeah, so let me just break that down. So there is 3 buildings for building A, which you can see on the middle lot. The first lot is just the leasing office and the pool. You kind of saw me building the pool. The middle lot is going to be 3 of the buildings, so it's going to have apartment A1, apartment A2, and apartment A3. Across from it is going to be a little park. That way, you know, the neighborhood kids or whatever can play in it. And then the third lot is going to be 5 townhouses. So you got apartment B1, B2, and B3. And then you have 2 smaller ones, which is going to be C1 and C2. So the way I was going to do it was pretty much based on, like I said, my last apartment. So I was trying to have the townhouses have either 2 or 3 bedrooms in it. The C block, on the other hand, those 2 apartments are extremely small. So I originally had a blueprint for this whole entire build. This was that really big project I was telling you guys that I was working on. And then my computer messed up, or I updated my computer and then I couldn't build this. So I originally have the blueprints made, but when I started building it, I realized where I was going to put their backyards off the grid was not gonna work, because and that side you actually see the sidewalk. So bad placement, was not about to work there. So I had to completely scrap that whole idea. So that's why it looks completely different now than when I actually was making the blueprints for it, in order to give them a backyard. So with that being said, I added 2 more buildings for the C block, but they're very, very, very small. Like I tried to put like the stairs so I can kind of get like a feel of like where everything is going to be, but it is very, very small. So what I am gonna decide to do later on is when I start actually decorating the inside with the red pack, that way I can go ahead and like move some Sims in and stuff like that. If it is way too small to even have a comfortable 1 bedroom in there, I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that whole entire building and make a small little gym there instead. My original blueprints, I did have a gym, but I decided to just make that into 2 little parking spaces. Not here, but on the other side. But I don't know. I love the way that this came out. It looks... I love when you have a building and you're building it and you just kind of put everything, like you build the actual build, you put the paint on the wall or the bricks or whatever the heck you're painting the walls with, and you add a little bit of landscape and it looks good. But when you add the rest of the little details, it just pops and just makes it look so much more realistic. And I love seeing that progress so much. So right now I am focusing and don't mind those windows, because those windows actually do change. I went through so many different versions of trying to get this apartment complex to be exactly how I wanted it to be. So I do change my builds a lot. And I actually went ahead and cropped most of this build. This build took me I say at least a week, like literally a week straight of recording. Like even with speeding up every last one of my clips to 400%, the video was still over 7 hours long. And that's with speeding everything up. So I worked very hard on this. I took my sweet time because I mean, I wanted to make it look good. I took my sweet time, but I love the way that it actually came out. There is obviously, and this is the C block I was telling you about. These apartments are very small. I'm not sure if I'm honestly gonna keep them. I may just like I said, just make that into like a expand it out a little bit more to make like maybe one or two more parking spaces, and then just make the rest of it like a gym because yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but when I start decorating it, then we'll decide from there. Um, I use the tool mod a lot. If you guys don't know what the tool mod is, definitely look into the tool mod. I love it. I use it for literally everything. I love making things realistic by putting things off of the grid. If you guys can see from the backyard, you can see where the white line is for where the lot is, like where the lot actually like stops, and then you can see that their backyard extends past that. I also use these love seats. These were CC love seats that I had. It was just like the cushion for it. So I took this one, sized it up, and then dropped it into the floor so it looks like sort of like a pavement. When you put stuff around it, and like I surrounded the whole thing with grass in certain places and kind of made it where it was a little bit more hidden and covered up. But when you're looking at it all together, oh my gosh, it looks awesome. So it's pretty much like a little speed bump or something in the middle of the road, but it connects all three of the lots together, which gives that full feeling that everything is actually connected when it comes to these actual like apartment complex. Like everything looks connected. This is me going around. I'm putting in my apartment complex, we had obviously the little sidewalk to go between like the different people's townhouses, but there was like this little like grassy area on like either side of the door that had a bush in it. So I kind of took that same concept and put that all the way around for every last one of the buildings, and with just that little bit, it made the buildings look so much better. Like no lie, like it made it look so much better. The other one kind of just looked boring on the outside, and there wasn't too much to it. Like you could see from the middle lot to like the second, it looks different. Okay. In this area, I'm pretty much just making it like the trash area. So there is going to be 2 industrial dumpsters that are back here for like your Sims to throw the trash away, theoretically, or pretend, I should say. One thing I did realize, which I meant to me, I really don't care. I'm not sure how other people would feel when it comes to actually getting or downloading this lot. But when I downloaded the CC for the fencing, I thought it was a object fence, which they are the objects, but I thought it was to where your sim or your people wouldn't be able to walk through it. And while I was taking the screenshots, there was actually a sim character that just went into somebody's backyard and started cooking on their grill, and then just put their food on their picnic table and then just left. He just walked right through the fence. So that is one little downfall when it comes to that. But honestly, I don't care. Roleplay reasons. I mean, shift, delete, or freaking go away, whatever, to the sim character. But me personally, I don't mind that there's going to be occasionally a sim character that's going to be glitching through the fence. But just for the aesthetic purposes of it, I don't care. I love it. This is me building the little playground. I wanted to make it to where it was a decent sized playground. Like, imagine if this was an extended like apartment complex. Like this was just the front of the apartment complex. Imagine pretend like there was more buildings behind this or something. Then you know, you would want to have a decent sized playground because it's a bunch of townhouses. So they're bigger than apartments. That means, you know, normally families live there. So I wanted to give something really pretty. Plus, it takes the space perfectly. It just looks good. I mean, I feel like I'm biased to like my own stuff, but I really love the way these builds come out because I put so much time and so much effort. And you should see when I'm building these builds, I literally, every time I build something and I think, oh my God, like this looks good. Like I'm already taking screenshots, even though it's not finished. I'm already showing my family, even though again, it's not finished. But I enjoy like the input because like I showed my dad this and like he even gave me an input. Yes, it was like after the fact. So I am going to still change it in like post uploading this. Just like on my side, I'm pretty much going to change it. But he gave me some input on it too. And I did like the input. It made sense compared to what I had already. And it was dealing with the park because I had two entrances and one with the crosswalk and one not. But I took the, you know, the constructive criticism and, you know, I'm going to actually incorporate it. So I do take well to like the criticism or the comments or stuff like that. If you guys like it, let me know that you guys like it. I enjoy making stuff that's realistic. Like this is my passion when it comes to this. I can literally sit here for hours. I mean, I sit here for a whole freaking week just building this. Like from the moment I woke up to the moment I was going to bed, I was working on this. So I love it. I like making something look realistic. It looks like this is like I could take a picture and it looks like I just went outside and like took a picture of like a real neighborhood or something. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. We're not too far from the end of the video. So after I build everything, I do go back with trees. Like, so my process is I build the house, I paint the house, I put all the little details building wise around the building. And then I work on landscape, and then, you know, I work on the custom content, which I do off camera because I told you guys I have like 25k worth of CC in my game, and I'm just no longer going to show me decorating something because it just takes too long. Like you'll see me putting all these little things, but this is stuff like I already like searched for and taken out prior to sorting them, so it's like the camera's not going all crazy all over the place. But yeah, I'm putting all the last minute details. Like I said, after I do the CC, then I go back and I add trees. I don't know what it is, but and let me know if you're the same way, but like landscape makes or breaks a building. Like for real, like makes or breaks a building. I can have a regular building and it looks okay. But the moment you start adding grass or you start adding plants or you start adding flowers or trees, it just takes that build from like a 6 to like a 10, like immediately. It gives the building so much more life, in my opinion. So that's pretty much the process of how I do things. I build, decorate with building items, do some landscaping, decorate with CC, and then trees and more landscaping wherever I can fit it. I did talk about real quick the what's that thing called? The love seat that I use as the road, but in between the other sections you guys can also see that I made it into a landscaping box, so it kind of adds a little bit of depth to it versus having like a big empty spot. And we are actually going into the screenshots. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is my new little baby. This is I don't have a name for it. I was thinking like Crestwood townhouses or whatever the case may be, but I still don't have a name for it. So if you guys have awesome names for this 8-building townhouse complex apartment or whatever you want to call it, then give me some name suggestions in the comments because I would greatly appreciate that. This is the park. Then you got the 3 buildings for building A. You got looks like somebody was moving in. You got all the B buildings, and then this is the 2 small C buildings. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm gonna wind up keeping those, but they're there for now. And yeah, so this is the end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'll see you next time.